¿Tuvieron en consideración hacerlo distinto? Tal vez articulaciones sin pines visibles en las rodillas. ¿Hay alguna chance de tener figuras articuladas de Marvel por McFarlane Toys?
I'd rather have 1 million people give me $1 than to have 10 people give me 100,000.
Porque me estaba preguntando, siendo que tenés las licencias tanto de Marvel como de DC, ¿hay alguna chance de tal vez tener figuras de Amalgam? Amiguitos, a continuación van a ver la entrevista exclusiva que tuve con Todd Mcfarlane. Ellos se pusieron en contacto conmigo específicamente para hablar del nuevo Medieval Spawn Kickstarter. Pero por cierto, él en todo momento estuvo abierto a responderme lo que sea. Así que le pregunté de todo y la realidad es que hay más de una pregunta que no le cayó nada bien. Pero bueno, yo cumplí con mi trabajo. El aire se puso tenso por momentos. Pude también preguntarle muchas cosas que la comunidad me dijo que quería saber sobre la licencia de Marvel, de DC o diferentes relanzamientos. Por favor, no se olviden de dejar apoyo y suscribirse para poder seguir trayéndole este tipo de contenido, poder seguir teniendo estas oportunidades y poner a Latinoamérica en el mapa de las figuras de acción. Todd, muchas gracias por hablar con nosotros, muchas gracias por tu tiempo. Sé que sos un hombre muy ocupado, así que lo apreciamos. Y tengo muchas preguntas sobre el nuevo Kickstarter y sobre otras líneas también. Así que la gente me pregunta a mí como si yo lo supiera todo, pero ahora tengo la oportunidad de preguntártelo directamente a vos.
We're doing some Marvel toys. I got to sign some Marvel toy. Like I got to sign these cards.
Yeah.
So while you're talking to me, I'm going to be signing. So if my head's down, I'm still paying attention. I gotta do double duty. I gotta sign and talk.
I understand. Yes, no problem.
Okay.
No problem.
All right.
Felicitaciones por el nuevo Kickstarter. Hasta ahora le está yendo genial. ¿Y por qué Kickstarter otra vez? En vez de los grandes revendedores o tal vez McFarlane.com.
First off, we may do some stuff on McFarlane.com, Spawn.com, or the McFarlaneToyStore.com, which we've done a lot. One of the reasons is because when you go to do any crowdfunding, whether you do it yourself or through anybody else, you get a middleman out of the way, right?
Yeah.
And so when we go to the big retailers, we have to give it to them at a certain price that has to be reasonable or cheap enough so that they can then mark it up so they can make a profit. So that then when somebody buys it, everybody's sort of happy along the line. If I take the person in the middle out, then I can deliver more product at a cheaper price. If I was to give this exact same product to like a retailer, then instead of it being $58, it would be closer to $100 easy, right? And so sometimes it's like, how do I deliver something at a much cheaper price than if I went through the system? So whenever you can go straight to the consumer, right? That's always the best in terms of being able to do the most value at the lowest price. So.
I understand. Genial que tengas en consideración eso para nosotros. Tengo algunas preguntas sobre la figura específicamente. Pienso que se ve genial, me encanta. Estoy esperando por la mía, de hecho, también. La tenés ahí, me encanta. Es genial, me encantan todos los detalles en...
That's without the...
Te falta la armadura.
Yeah.
Me encantan los detalles en el pecho. Esos pequeños detalles acá son increíbles. Pero me preocupó un poco los pines en las articulaciones. ¿Tuvieron en consideración hacerlo distinto? Tal vez articulaciones sin pines visibles en las rodillas.
The knees have a double joint on them.
Yeah.
So that they can bend literally all the way.
Yeah. I
right?
mean,
Like,
is
I mean, it bends, the knees will bend literally all the way back so you can kick your butt,
is
right?
great.
So,
Estoy hablando de los pines, de los agujeritos.
oh, up in here?
Yeah, yes.
Yep, yep. Yeah, again, here's the thing. You can overthink an item at some point, and you can say, hey, we can problem solve everything.
Okay.
We could give metal weapons all over the place. We can do chains all over. We could do plastic and cloth capes, and we could do. The price is just going to continue to go up, though, right? And so, at some point, I don't know. My theory has always been try to give it as much value as a cheap price as possible. So yes, we could have solved every problem, but it comes one at a cost,
Ujú.
and two, it also slows down production, which will then slow down delivery. And
Yeah.
one of the things we're trying to do, one of the records I'm hoping to set on this figure is the speed at which we're going to deliver a lot of these figures to people. Right?
Sé que la figura ya se está produciendo.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. Well, not all of them because we don't know how many we're making,
sure.
but I've started to make a like a bunch of pieces so that we're not waiting for it. So that by the time you put in your order and you back it, then in some cases within months you should be getting a notice saying it's on its way, right? Like not a year, not 2 years, like months. And again, this is a complicated thing. If I was doing cards, I could print cards and ship them in the mail tomorrow, right?
Ujú.
So, but this is a complicated piece with lots and lots of moving parts and there's a lot of assembly. Like, so I've got to get the complication of it and print the comic book and sign the plates and get all of that moving so that people may, hopefully some people, but will have that in time for Christmas, right? Which is only a few months down the line here. So that's some of the decision making was based on that. And again, I know everybody's not going to agree with that decision making, but it it's my Kickstarter,
Ay, ay, ay.
and those are the choices that we decided to make.
Ok, ok, seguro. Y te iba a preguntar también sobre la capa de tela con alambre. Sé que dijiste que lo estaban considerando. Sería un retraso, pero...
Yeah, it would be a delay and a cost. So here's what we're going to do is that if we do, here's a theory. Don't hold me to it, but here's a theory. If the next figure we do is, let's say, Gunslinger Spawn,
Ok.
a Western, let's say a Western guy, right? Then maybe what I can do is that shortly thereafter, I can come out with a Kickstarter and I can give you the horse.
Mm,
And the horse, so you get the horse, but you get all these extra pieces, right? You get a whole bag of pieces. You get a whole bag of pieces.
ujú.
And if you put these pieces on, it becomes a Western cowboy horse,
Yeah.
right? For the gunslinger. Boom. If you put on these other pieces, it becomes a horse for the medieval spawn. Now, the only way the medieval spawn is going to be able to sit on it is if I also would include a wire cape
Ujú.
with that horse. So that, like,
Oh,
because then you'd have to take this off, put
yeah.
on the wire cape, then you can put this figure on the horse, and you can then drape the cape around the horse.
That,
So I'll figure out the problems as we go. The wire cape was a complication that I didn't want to add into it right now, and it doesn't impede the character from moving around, right? So,
bueno, pero eso es una buena solución y estaría genial para complementar las figuras anteriores. Sí, sí, creo que eso funcionaría, seguramente. Y mencionaste el próximo. ¿El próximo Kickstarter ya estás pensando en eso?
no, but I know the people who are on Kickstarter are.
Ah,
As soon as they pledge and they back you, they're going, what about the next one? It's sort of like, I mean, but you know what? Whenever I go to a movie and I like the movie, as soon as I walk out, I'm always thinking about the sequel. So the fans are just passionate, and they've got a lot of good suggestions. So and they're saying it took 4 years, right, between the
Yes.
figures. They're saying, Todd, how about once a year, right, or something. So maybe I need to get into more of a rhythm, so it's easier for me to think about other figures moving forward.
Tal vez continuando la primera wave de Spawn o más allá, como el Gunslinger Spawn.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like, again, this is the original
Ajá.
medieval Spawn, and we had, these 6 figures.
Sure.
I don't know if I would finish this one or I just start going into the popular characters that I know are going to sell, right?
I understand.
So I think I could do a she Spawn. I think I could do a gunslinger Spawn. I think I could do like a haunt. I think I could do a redeemer. I think I could, so I mean, and then I think I could do a couple of the big villains, the clown, sin, violator. I mean, Malbolgia. I mean, there's plenty of them that we could do. And I think we could probably even just go back to one of the toys that we've done and just do a better job of a toy that maybe came out 20, 30 years ago.
¿Pensaste en lanzar otra figura en escala 1/6 como la que Medicom hizo en el pasado?
Maybe, the thing is that every time I do something big, or I do like a statue, then I've got to go like up to $100, $200, right?
Yeah.
I'm always super sensitive about that.
Pero la gente lo pagaría.
Yeah, I know they I know they do.
Yes,
I know they
yes.
do. But I have this theory. I'd rather have 1 million people give me $1 than to have 10 people give me 100,000. Both
Sure.
of them add up to 1 million. It's just that over here you got 1 million people that know what you do. And I think part of being successful is to have as many people as possible. And the way to have as many people as possible is you've got to keep your prices reasonable for them. And so, yeah, maybe down the line, I might do something crazy and it costs $100, $200, $300 with lights and glowing things and energy blast. But,
Ahora mismo están lanzando una estatua que está a unos $600, creo. Una estatua de Spawn. Entonces,
right,
maybe...
but I don't do a lot of, I try not to do too many of those.
No, I know.
Compared to our figures, because I'd rather sell a bunch of $20 figures, right?
Sure.
$20, $25 figures. But, I'd rather be able to give as much quality as possible, right? So that you get something big, right? Something
Yes.
big and cool, right? It's cool, right? It's big.
amazing.
This is a big box, right? So you open it up, you get lots and lots and lots of stuff inside,
It's
right?
beautiful.
So if I take off the plastic, there's like 12 to 20 extra items in there, right? So,
Yeah.
and there's a comic book. I mean, all of that for $58. I can't, there's only one way to do it, to just not worry about making everything perfect and not having a big retailer in the middle of all of that, and somebody can get it, given that a lot of action figures are now $25 and $30 just themselves, right? And here you get the big box and you get all the extra pieces and you get the comic book and all the other stuff. Like, I don't know, I think we're offering a quality product at a fair price.
Sure. Con respecto a los accesorios extra, hubo un pequeño malentendido por lo que estuve leyendo, porque algunos pensamos que cuando llegábamos a la meta, todos los accesorios iban a estar incluidos. ¿Hay algo que te gustaría decirnos sobre eso?
Yeah. Here's what
I know that you said that it was.
I mean, here's what I'll say here, because it's always weird how much confusion there is given how simple I like to make stuff, right? So I'm saying that you get the figure, and then you get a sword, and you get the shield and all of that, and then you get the nice box, and you get the comic book, and that's $58. And then depending on how we do, from time to time, I'm just going to add something in. There's no, and people are like, well, what's the rule? And the answer is there is no rule. I think this is what's confusing people, is that there is no rule to what I'm doing. It's like, oh my gosh, look how much money we made. Give them something else. Oh my gosh, thank you. Give them something else. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. Here's something free, 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 free. And I'll just give as much away as I possibly can by the end of it. And not charge any extra money. What people are used to on Kickstarter is if you get to this level, everybody has to get to what they call a stretch goal. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying there's any stretch goals. I'm saying that if we have enough momentum and if we do as good as I hope we do, I should be able to give you a whole bag of extra stuff that will be in that box you saw, lined up. I've carved out holes for each one of them. And if we don't end up doing it, we just fill in the hole. But that's it. Just like, hey guys, every now and then I'm going to do a video and go, I'm giving you something else. I'm giving you something else. I'm giving you something else. And that's it. And it's weird. I think it's a bit weird that people are confused that somebody wants to give them something for free.
Bueno, tal vez no es a lo que estamos acostumbrados y necesitamos reglas y necesitamos guías para entenderlo mejor.
Let me tell you that the first one we did with the Spawn 4 years ago, I ran into the exact same situation. So it was like, guys, they're going, no, don't give it to us for free, Todd. Make us pay you more. Make us.
That's crazy.
And I'm going, no, I'm trying to give you something. I don't care if anybody gives me another penny. I don't care. You're getting this anyways. They're like, that's not how it works. You're supposed to take money and then give us. And I'm like, I don't want your money. I don't want your money. I want to say thank you for giving me the money that you've already given me. I want to give you this free thing. Like, come on, guys. But that's okay. It's usually a small portion of people. And the rest of the people are like, oh, cool, I get something else. Thanks, Todd. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's so confusing. But part of it is, like I said, because I don't have any rules with it. And I think Kickstarter has this way of doing things, and I'm just not doing it the way they're used to. So.
Me gustaría preguntarte sobre relanzamientos. Estamos en el 30 aniversario de Spawn. Vimos algunas viejas figuras volver. ¿Hay más por venir?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll continue to do some. We had some that were, pretty successful, and just we're trying to figure out how to bring them back and do something different so that it doesn't feel like it's the same toy exactly.
Okay. Tal vez como el mandarín Spawn, que ha sido modificado a través de los años. ¿Hay algún favorito tuyo?
Oh yeah, no, the Mandarin Spawn could actually be a Kickstarter figure too, right?
Yes, I would love that.
With all the weapons and stuff
here.
and all the helmets and stuff, he's one of those ones too that would be a hell of a toy.
Yes. ¿Y qué hay de las otras líneas? Relanzar tal vez viejos Movie Maniacs o de la línea Animation from Japan. Aquellas figuras de Akira eran geniales y hoy en día todavía lo son.
Yeah. We're talking to a couple of the people we either have license with or we've done them in the past, but we have to again get approval to even be able to say the word crowdfund, not necessarily Kickstarter, but crowdfunding a figure, because each company that owns the brands of the figures that we make, they all have a different opinion about where crowdfunding starts and stops, right? Some are more comfortable with it than others.
¿Puedo hacerte una pregunta sobre la licencia de Marvel? Porque me estaba preguntando, siendo que tenés las licencias tanto de Marvel como de DC, ¿hay alguna chance de tal vez tener figuras de Amalgam? Yo digo Marvel versus DC, Amalgam. Un Dark Claw sería increíble.
I understand. It would be super awesome. But I'm just getting out of the gate with the Marvel and Disney. So let me just get their confidence in me before I broach a very big idea.
Pero te gustaría.
Oh yes, yeah. What are you talking? As a fan, of course, of course. What are you talking about? Yes. So.
Y la gente me pregunta esto. Yo sé que es muy difícil, pero te tengo que hacer esta pregunta. ¿Hay alguna chance de tener figuras articuladas de Marvel por McFarlane Toys?
I don't know. They have some very strong big partners already that do that for them.
Yes.
And they, and I appreciate them not wanting to water that down or step on the toes of people who have been good partners to them.
Sure.
So, will I continue to bug them? Of course I will. Will I ever get to that point? Who knows? But anyways, we'll see. My guess is that if I ever did it, it might be that I have to price it at $100 or more or something like that too. I mean, there's usually there's ways that they can get there, but they have to make sure they stay clear of their good partners that they've had for years and years. So.
Sería algo distinto de lo que ya tenemos. Diferente escala, diferente tipo.
Yeah. There has to be something that's different, correct.
Ok. Y a la hora de seleccionar licencias nuevas, ¿qué es lo que tenés en cuenta? ¿Esta está libre, entonces la tomo? ¿O sos muy selectivo con las licencias que elegís?
Yeah, it's not overly sophisticated. It's what do you think is kind of popular out there in the world? And then you go and knock on the door and you ask, or sometimes they come to you.
Ah.
And you then decide whether you want to make a deal with it one way or the other. And sometimes you get in a bidding war with other people, want to do the same one, especially popular items.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you win and sometimes you don't. So we do as good as we can given the properties that are out there and given that we're competing against, dozens literally of other companies that want to do the same thing we do.
¿Hay alguna licencia que te encantaría conseguir algún día? Tal vez Star Wars, no sé.
Yeah, I've always said what I would if you could wave a wand, I would just like to do one figure of every brand that's out there. Right? So then I get to do my one articulated Marvel, my one articulated Star Wars, my one articulated Transformer, my one articulated G.I. Joe, my one whatever. Like whatever the big brands are, let me just do one figure. That's all I'm asking.
One of each.
Yeah, that's just one, just to say, hey, if I had the license, this is what it would look like. Cool. So.
Te quería preguntar por una línea en particular de DC, de la que creo que solamente salió una figura, que fue Batman. La línea es Kingdom Come. ¿Vamos a tener más personajes?
Yeah, the answer is like yes, we will. We'll take some of the key figures and push some of those. Yes.
Ok, thank you so much. Y si vos estás buscando las mejores figuras de McFarlane Toys y de tus marcas favoritas y estás en la Argentina, por supuesto, tenés a Mercado Toys para poder llenar tu vitrina. Te dejo todos sus links en la descripción. ¿Algunas palabras que le quieras decir a tus fans hispanohablantes en Latinoamérica, en España y por todo el mundo?
Oh, yes. What are you talking about? We love all of you good people because here's the thing. Outside of America, right? Outside of the United States, the two of the biggest places that support our products are Mexico
Yeah.
right? Some in Central America, and then in Spain, right? I mean, there's also, places like, France, that's also strong. Brazil is also strong, but constantly Spain and Mexico and Central America, we've always gotten like just an immense amount of support from those countries. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everybody who lives in another country that basically has discovered my creations and will support it. So yes, thank you. Thank all of you for letting me have a 40-year career.
Nosotros somos muy apasionados
Yep.
y en mi comunidad nosotros te llamamos Uncle Todd, que significa tío Todd. Porque te queremos, entonces para nosotros sos el tío Todd.
Oh man, I'm hoping to come and visit the countries I spoke about a lot more here in the coming years. Especially once we get the movie out and we got something big to talk about, because now you can say, hey, it's not just a comic book guy or toy guy. That's the guy who made that movie, right? So we'll make sure we come your way in the next year or two for sure.
Sería genial. Y sobre la película, sé que hablaste de eso en la Comic Con, pero ¿hay algo más que te gustaría decirnos sobre la película?
Yeah, at Comic-Con we announced that we had the script in our hand. And so now we're out with the script talking to directors.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find our director, and once we get our director, then we go into the studios and we sell the whole product. Yep.
Ok. Muchísimas gracias y te dejo continuar con las firmas.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Lots
much.
and lots. I got stacks and stacks of them I got to do. So.
Me imagino que nunca se terminan.
No.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias. Para mí fue un sueño cumplido.
Thank you for giving me your time today. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. You be good.
Bye.